Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the HollingsWorthless program, or do you want to go back to HollingsWorthless podcast? Which do you like?
I like HollingsWorthless podcast better.
Yeah, podcast sounds sexy.
Program sounds like we're in the 60s.
Yeah, but it also could be go out into other things if it was on TV.
It's the HollingsWorthless program.
This is for Wednesday, Tuesday, July. Wait,
2nd.
what's today?
What about Project?
This will be out for Wednesday. This
like
comes
Project.
out Wednesday.
Okay.
HollingsWorthless project.
Yeah. Like we're
Hey, what's up, everybody? This will be for Wednesday, July 3rd. As always, I'm your host, Jay Hollingsworth. And guess who's back again?
The
Phil-Anthropist, a.k.a. the Philharmonic, a.k.a. Motown Philly, a.k.a.
Phil Fox. Fox like the animal. Jonah Phil.
Phil Fox is back.
Yes, sir.
And,
yes-em.
And the guest, I guess you kind of like both guests, but we'll have an announcement.
I was confused about whether or not, am I considered the guest
Jesus
or the
Christ.
co-host?
Manny Martin. Can I introduce Manny?
Hey, guys.
Well, I was actually confused why you didn't introduce him first.
Well,
Hey, what's up, everybody? This will be for Wednesday, July 3rd. As always, I am your host, Big Irish Jay Hollingsworth. And as always, we have the co-host,
Who's that?
Manny Martin. What's up, Manny?
what's going on, guys?
Manny Martin. So, do we make an announcement now or at the end?
I think we make an announcement at the beginning, sure, and then we can talk about it all.
Okay. All right. Phil's coming out to LA at some point. No, Phil's. So Phil, Motown Philly, aka the Phil-Anthropist, aka all that shit, is
So real proud of it now.
is back. Is back as the co-host. I'm here up in. Why are you laughing?
No, I hope that you keep all three different intros for this.
yeah.
Into one program.
100%.
Yeah,
including the stuff before.
Yeah, great. Oh, perfect. Can't wait.
No, so I'm currently up here in Seattle, Washington. Well, we're in, what is this, Evercrest?
This is called Edgewood.
Close, it started with an E.
Near Puyallup, Washington.
We're at Phil's apartment, and I've been staying with Manny in West Seattle, and, Phil, one of my oldest and dearest friends.
Oh, thanks.
Well, I mean, I was, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
What,
the
are they
upstairs,
moving furniture?
the upstairs neighbors,
Jesus.
they kind of do that for 24 hours a day.
All right.
I think they own a lot of IKEA, and they just...
Sounds like the upstairs has an upset stomach. God damn it, I fucked it up. All right.
That's terrible.
Anyways, Phil is going to be back full time as the co-host. We've been talking since I was up here, and I miss having Phil, misses doing it. Phil misses doing it, right?
I do. I think it's exciting. I'm
And
excited.
and nothing can compare. Nothing compares to
you.
Phil. And so there's a couple positives and negatives to that. Is the positive obviously is Phil will be back, and I think the way Phil and I work together is great on the podcast. The negative is we won't be having video unless it's like a live recording or we're in the same place. You know what I mean? Unless that software we have.
Maybe we can figure out a way to capture a screen.
Yeah.
You and then me in the fucking corner or something like that, or
we're working it out. But yeah, Phil's going to be back full time. So Phil is back in one of the. I don't know if you ever look at reviews. Somebody put a review recently that was like, "Cool podcast, but I miss Phil."
I saw one that was like, where did Phil go, or what happened to Phil the Mass-Clot or whatever? And I was like,
That's what it was, the Mass-Clot.
Yeah, the Mass-Clot.
Yeah.
But I was going to write a review. I haven't yet. Now I guess I'm glad I didn't. But I was going to write a review kind of in response to that one. No, and just say, what did happen to Phil? Oh, he's still here, and the podcast got immensely better without him.
No, I wouldn't say that.
No, I like to shit on myself.
It's still as shitty as always.
I'm happy to be here.
And I've been staying with Manny, who Manny and I used to be roommates. It's funny, I was talking to Crystal. We were talking the other day, Manny's wife, Crystal, and I don't know what, I'm trying to think how we got on the topic, but it was talking about friendships or best friends or something like that.
Yeah.
And I was thinking about it, I'm like, pretty much you guys, you two, Kane and Sean. I'm trying to think. If I leave somebody out now, then it's going to be like, oh, I'm knowing your best friends. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. Roger would be up there. Somebody I'm close with, like comics. Then I have like friends before comedy, you know, like James and Matt Garlington and Mark. Yeah, and then yeah, but it's
your jiu-jitsu friends.
Yeah, fucking
Yeah.
I was up in Vancouver, BC, doing a show, and Randy Mangalenden, my old roommate, my old roommate when I was doing Wing Chun Do came out, and there was a heckler, and he wanted to beat the shit out of him. What was it called?
Wing Chun Do.
Wing Chun Do.
Who was the guy who like pulled the prank on me in the movie theater?
Oh, yeah, that's another one of my old school buddies, one of my best friends, Ron Peterson.
Oh,
what happened in the movie theater? I don't think I've heard that.
Dude, do you want to tell the story?
Yeah, so we went to go see, like, we used to just go see random-ass movies from time to time. And we're sitting in the movie theater, and this random guy comes and sits, like, right next to me. And I'm like...
Well, but you have to set up. So the theater is empty. It's just me and Manny. It's like me, and then maybe, like, 4 seats down is Manny in the same row.
Yeah. And literally, there's nobody in there, like, probably over 100 seats, clearly, right? And this guy just comes and sits right next to me. And I'm like, oh, this is fucking weird.
Out of the whole theater.
Out of the whole theater. Yeah. And Jay is like, he's like, do you want to move? And I'm like, you know, me being the nice guy, I'm like, well, I don't want to make this guy feel awkward or anything. And the guy's like, hey, how you doing, man?
And wait, real quick. So how the seating is right now is so like Manny would be me, and then Manny's here, and then this weird guy is right here. So at certain points, as this guy's talking to Manny, Manny will look over to me and be like, what the fuck is... And I'd be like, dude, I don't know. So, sorry, yeah.
So he's playing along, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm like, hey, yeah, what's up, man? And he was like, yeah, so you excited about the movie? And I'm looking at Jay like, yeah, I guess. I mean, you know.
Yeah, get me the fuck out of here.
Yeah, and then the guy's like, do you want some popcorn? And I'm like, no, I think I'm okay. I'm good. And he's like, yeah, so no, I'm really excited about this movie. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy who just keeps on talking to me? This is fucking weird.
God.
And Jay's like, are you sure you don't want to move, man? This is just fucking weird. And like, I'm like, nah, man, I'm good. I mean,
and then didn't he like go to hold your hand or something?
He almost like touched my hand or some shit, or like he
put on your thigh.
Yeah, like we started sharing the same armrest, and I was like, okay, what the fuck?
I think you said something too. Like, what? Do you remember how it ended?
I don't.
I think he's like. Yeah, he was doing all that shit. Like, and the previews would come on, and Ron would say to Manny, he would go like, "That looks pretty good, right? You think that looks good?" And Manny would be like, "Yeah, I guess." And then
I feel like he even said some shit like, "We should go see that."
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
So
I think he said like, "Are you single?" or something like that.
Yeah, I think
Oh, dude,
then I was just
it went as far as already previews have started and it's still going.
Yeah, and you know me, I'm like
that's dedication to the bit right there because normally you'd be like, previews are starting. Hey man, anyway, I'm so and so. He's still going with it. The previews are started, and you're like, oh shit, this is gonna be an awkward fucking movie.
Yes.
Oh my god.
That story, that keep that shit to yourself story. Mm-hmm. You know, that's Ron.
Oh, that's the same guy.
Yeah.
I think I've met Ron before.
I'm sure you have.
Yeah.
Dude, we have fucking.
So when did the joke?
I think it was when he was like, I think he was like, asked if you were single or
he asked if I was single, and I was like, what?
And then we just started laughing.
It's so funny because like even then, when he asked if I was single, I didn't want to be like anti-gay or anything. You know what I mean? So I was just still like, nah, man,
I just told him, I had texted him beforehand. I was like, or called him, and I was like, hey, I'm going to the movie with my buddy Manny. He'll be the only dude with me, black dude. Just fuck with him. And so that's what he did. He just came in and sat right next to him.
Oh my god, so funny.
Ron's got dude. I remember Ron and I used to work together at Verizon Wireless, and he used to do all these dumb pranks like, you'd be in the bathroom taking a shit, and then he'd be like, all right, talk to you later, turn the lights off, and you're like, okay, great. Then one time we're walking down like the building, like an aisle in the building, and there's like, you know, there's an aisle here, then there's a bunch of cubicles in the middle, and then on the other side is an aisle, right? Mm-hmm. On the other aisle is this dude, Frank, this nerdy dude, right? And so the way that Ron's walking is that he's like passing a little bit, he's in front of me, and he's about even with Frank on the other end, right? So he would pass just right to where he was out of Frank's eyesight, and then he'd go, hey, Frank! And then Frank would look, and he would see me. And then he'd go the next little end and say, hey, Frank! And so finally, this guy looks at me and just goes, what? What do you want? And I'm like, fuck, man. We had all kinds of crazy shit. But I want to talk about, so people are curious what you've been up to. So you were in LA, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. When was the last podcast I was on? Was it when I was leaving LA, or did we do one between the two? I just think it's interesting that it doesn't matter because nobody can ever listen. Well, so where does the archive start? Is it after me or?
Where does the archive start?
Like if I go on to the HollingsWorthless.
So if you go to Comedy Pop-Up, I think we've had 30 new episodes. 30. It's like 1 through 30 now.
And at number 1, am I co-host or no co-host?
Oh God, no.
Okay, great.
Wait, when did you even come back? To
now.
Seattle.
Oh.
Yeah, like,
to the podcast? No. I came back about 2.5. No, I guess.
Much?
Right around 2 much years ago.
3 much?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it was about April or something like that of
so what made you come back?
2016,
was it relationship?
2017.
Was it?
No, and I think I talked about this on the podcast when I was decided to go back home, but it was just such a struggle down there to make money and survive, and
right.
I wasn't really getting the results that I was hoping for, and I think a lot of that was attributed to the fact that I was just having to constantly be trying to make money.
Right.
And, it was discouraging when I would go out to a mic, the process that it would just beat your soul down. And just the infrequency of actually getting booked on shows too was,
right.
It was just like, fuck. I didn't know the first thing about how to get an agent or, go out for any type of auditions or anything like that. So I was like,
which is interesting because I was just telling Phil this. I was like, it was the best thing when you motherfuckers left because it's like all the big opportunities. Like I didn't have to compete against anybody. So I was literally like, I mean, no disrespect to any of the comics up here, but it's
we'll just say the pond got smaller.
Yeah,
that's what made you the bigger fish.
And it's I mean, with that Kevin Hart audition, it was literally like, oh, I didn't have to go up against Jay. I didn't have to go up against you. I didn't have to go up against Kane.
Sure.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have to go up against you or Kane. So I mean,
right. No, that's fair. That's fine.
So you were living with your girlfriend down in LA.
I was.
And you both made the decision to move back.
Correct. So I was starting to just be like, fuck this, man. If this is going to be what life is like, if it's going to be this much of a struggle,
right.
I was like, dude, I don't know if I want to struggle forever. And so I was like, what could I do without any kind of college to where I could just make a shit ton of money?
Escort.
And I started Googling just high paying jobs with no degree, and I saw obviously a lot of stuff was labor oriented, but I was looking at stuff like the people that would service the wind turbine things.
Turbine?
Yeah, they get paid bank.
Dude, I've always heard that's a good blowjob.
So
I'm not really a fan of that joke.
Welcome back.
Reunited.
I don't want to air your dirty laundry. But.
So
you're doing TaskRabbit for a little bit, huh?
I was doing all that down there. I was doing anything to survive. I was doing TaskRabbit. I was doing Uber. I was doing Postmates.
What was your worst? Oh, and yeah, dude, the TaskRabbit shit was so funny because I would take jobs that I couldn't do, and then I would fuck it up, and then I would blame it on the last person. I go, oh, sorry, and they'd give me a tip and a good review. But what was your worst thing when you were TaskRabbiting and Ubering and all that? Oh, you have the story about the mob.
Well, that wasn't TaskRabbit, but I do have that one where the guy had a pile of cocaine on the table in the room. That was intense. He had a Fisker outside when I pulled up. I never saw a Fisker before.
A Fisker?
It's a car. Exactly right.
Okay.
You're like, oh, you're so rich, you have shit I've never even heard of before.
Wow. Okay.
So he had a Fisker car.
Oh.
He's just
No, he wasn't fisking anybody. Jeez. So I was like, wow. And then I look at the house, and it's gated and it's just huge. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be cool. And I walk up, and there's
what area was it in? Was it in
It was in the Hollywood Hills somewhere. I think maybe towards the west side of the hills. But at the top. I mean, at the tippy top of the fucking thing.
So clearly, you had money.
Yes. Yeah. I Zillowed the thing. It was like a $7 million house.
Jesus.
So it was a nice house. And the doors were like 15 feet tall or something. I mean, they were ginormous, 8 foot wide. they were huge, and he was wanting me to like work on a doorknob, which was like the most complex, expensive looking doorknob ever.
I know how good you are with doorknobs. Remember fucking up my one in Seattle? Yeah.
Fucking bed knob. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I know. I fucked up your doorknob. Sorry about that. That's because it was like from the 1950s or some shit. It was. I never. I work on current modern day shit.
Okay.
Oh my
All right.
God.
So I go in there and I start working on some stuff. I think he gave me like, he gave me a Coca-Cola, which I guess is kind of a little, ironic, I guess, and foreshadowing. But so he gave me a Coca-Cola, and I was just gonna say, man, when I tasted that Coca-Cola, I was like, this Coca-Cola tastes better because it's in like a rich house. I don't know what it was about it, but I was like, it tastes sweeter. It just tastes better. And so I'm working on this thing, and I come to a point where I can't keep fixing the doorknob. I'm like stuck. I'm like, I don't know. I got to go talk to him.
Yeah.
But he's nowhere to be found. I can't find the guy.
Yeah.
And it's like a Scooby-Doo mansion. Like, I'm like, what do I do? I start like walking around like, hello, anybody here? And so I
Scooby-Doo.
This is a fucking great description.
it's just kind of, what do I do? What's going to pop up around the corner? And the place was nice, so nice that when I was going up the stairs, like the walls were like cloth, like velvety type material, like microfiber fucking walls.
Right.
So crazy. And so I'm going up the stairs and I'm kind of like, hello. And I don't really hear anything, but I hear like coughing. I hear like, I'm like, the fuck?
Yeah.
And so I'm kind of just like, hello. And finally I kind of like get near a room and he's like, yeah, what's up? I'm like, oh, I just have a question for you because I didn't really want to like walk into the bedroom. And he was like, oh yeah, no, come in here. Or he was like, oh, I also have, something to show you in here that
He's just butt naked.
Some other tasks he wanted me to work on. And so I like walk in and, I'm initially trying to look for whatever he's trying to show me, but out of the corner of my eye, he's got this desk and I look at the desk and it's a literal mountain, like cone.
Mountain.
Conical mountain.
Conical?
Conical? I don't know. What's
Concave?
No,
Conical?
like a cone. Conical.
Oh, is that a word?
Yeah.
Okay.
Hashtag conical. I mean, it's huge. I've never seen anything this size. I mean, it was probably whatever. It was probably like the size of a fist.
Size of your fist?
Yeah. Yeah, the size of your fist. And so I was, I didn't want to mention anything though, and so he was like, oh, fix this, and then, we walk right by it, and he's got to know I see it, so he just goes, oh, would you care for a line? Like the most polite thing ever, just like it's a fucking tea or something. Oh, would you care for a line? And I'm like, I mean,
I don't want to be rude.
I don't want to be fucking rude. When in Rome, so fucking so yeah, do a little
Booger sugar,
fine china, this fucking boogie sugar,
Little Miley Cyrus.
Yeah, and so I do a little bit of that, and he's like, oh, this is like some of the finest shit from Colombia or something. I'm like, I'm sure it is with your money, and then I was ready to get back to work for him.
God.
You need me to build you a guest house?
Yeah. It was.
And he tipped you like $100?
Yeah, he tipped me $100, and he's like, oh, let me give you your number, and I'll, if I call you, have anything, just come to me. I'll take care of you. I take care of all my guys. And yeah.
HollingsWorth moment.
Oh, Manny, let's has to
You're gonna
use
disappear?
it.
I think it might be your zip fizz.
Oh man.
Uh-oh.
He couldn't even hold it. That's a major one.
Should we pause or keep going?
We'll keep going. He'll be just
Okay.
because we got the movies later. But
Yeah.
what was your worst? Well, actually, before we get into some of that shit, so you've been up here in Seattle.
That's what happened down in that. That's the kind of shit I was doing in LA. And then I was done with that. I wanted to make real money. I wanted to make steady money. And so I was like, fuck it. I talked to my buddy's dad, and he was a a heavy equipment operator all my life, and he always had money. He always had time off in the winter time a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And that's when he would kind of go play around and go on vacations and stuff. Because a lot of the time, they would lay you off and you're unemployed, and it's not anything of your doing.
Right.
It's just the season's over, and so you don't have to look for jobs or anything while you're on unemployment at that point in time, because there's no work and you're in the union and you have to wait for the union to give you your next job. So he would, that's take that money and those opportunities to go fucking.
That's dope.
Yeah, vacation. I was like, that's a cool life. And so I was just like, man, I never went to college. I love comedy so much, but if this shit doesn't work out, I'm nothing. I have nothing. I have no way to make money. And so I talked to him, and he was able to give me the opportunity to get into that union and become an apprentice. And so that's what I've been doing for like the last 2.5 years. And I really haven't. I've done a couple mics and stuff here and there, a couple shows, but it's been so far and few between.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really been on the back burner compared to.
And here I think the camera's picking up. You have 4 of the posters here.
Yeah, I've done some. I mean, this is just stuff from the past. This was actually all up here because that's really the only time I was able to get any good stage time. But yeah.
2 of the. Oh wow, that's weird. That's interesting. That poster has the South Boston Recycling logo on it.
Oh yeah, that's cool.
That's interesting.
That was a nice poster. I really liked that poster.
I think Sean did that, right?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, my buddy Ryan did that, my going away poster. And we were on that show together too. And then this is one of Mitch Burrows.
2 of your 4 shows.
Yeah, that's right.
And so you came up here with your girl, and then
so then we came back, and that's why I was trying to wonder on a past podcast if we talked about that or not, if we had done one when you came up at some point in time, because so we had been together for about 5 years, and
damn, 5 years.
Yeah, we were together 5 years, and then just stuff wasn't working out between us, and so one of the myriad of reasons is because she was just really missing home and just wanted to be around her family. Her grandma was kind of getting ill at the time too, and so she was just like, man, there's just so much.
Her grandmother was sick of her dating you?
Never met her grandma.
Why don't you find yourself a nice colored boy?
Yeah. And so she,
Oh, Phil,
it was better for her to go back there. No, I think, we were both...
was it a good excuse to quit comedy? Or was it like...
To quit comedy? The relationship?
Yeah, like coming back here?
No, I just quit for the career. I just came back to do the heavy equipment operating and make money.
Whoa, dude, she wasn't that big.
That's good.
Just kidding,
that's funny. Yeah.
So
That's what you call fucking her? Heavy equipment operating?
Beep, beep, beep.
was it a breakup or?
Yeah. I think we both just, we even we decided to go see like a couples therapist just to.
Oh wow.
Because I think it was on me. I think I was just like, man, we put so much of our fucking lives into this, a half of a decade, and for nothing. Like, we should at least try to see if somebody else can, see if there's something that we can repair here. And we did. I think we went to 2 sessions, and then I went back with her to Wisconsin for a wedding that she was a part of, and I ended up just running off the day of the wedding and getting totally blacked out.
Oh no!
Classic Phil.
I was like railing Adderall with like one of the other dudes that was also a friend.
You were railing another dude?
Hey, got to get it somewhere. And so, I was just fucked up. And
Jesus Christ.
So noticeably.
Oh, to the point where when the reception was over, because her parents were at the reception, that we weren't staying the night and it was time for us to go. And I was like telling the mom and dad like, oh, like get fucked up with us, you know, let's fucking party. Like, you know, let's stay here and just fucking, we can crash here, dude. Nobody's gonna give a shit. Like, whatever. And they were like, Phil, we have to fucking go, dude. Like, you're being an asshole. Get in the car.
I've had those chats.
Yeah, and so I was like, finally got in the car.
Everybody's had one of those good Phil experiences where it's just like he is being over.
Yeah, there's no stopping me.
Like, I like for I guess all the listeners out there, like Phil did a show with me and Jay, and just completely ate shit on stage.
I was practically blacked out at that point.
Yeah, you were blacked out at that point, but it was me egging you on to be like, yeah, let Phil do a set. And Jay was like, no. And I was like, come on, man, it's Phil.
And I'm like, okay.
Oops.
Do you remember any of that set?
Especially, the only thing I remember is my phone ringing.
And you checked it on stage.
Yeah.
And,
I don't remember anything I did, because I don't think I did anything.
And then literally, like, I go up on stage and talk about it, and you were like, I get it, man. You got to make fun of me for it. So anyways.
I also told whoever was, like, running that show that night, like, hey, I get it if you don't want me coming here anymore. Like, it's fine.
You guys like, you're who?
Yeah, I know.
The best part about it was like, I was like, fuck yeah, man, I just want to hang out with Phil afterwards. And you're like, yeah, let's go.
Oh, yeah, tell that story.
And so we all go to, what was Ozzy's, right?
Yeah.
And Ozzy's.
You asked me to go with you guys, right? And I was like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, I was like, come on, man, it's Phil. I was like,
man, I haven't seen you forever. Yeah, let's go party.
And I was like, you know what, I haven't hung out with Phil, so let me go do this. And then, and we're in the club, and Phil is just on one. You're like,
by the way, let me just, I have a good ending to this story.
Okay. Yeah.
I parked down by the comedy club.
Okay, yeah.
I'll just want to say that. And I took an Uber or rode with you.
That's right.
To Ozzy.
Very responsible.
Wait, did I give you a ride out there?
I think either I rode with you to Ozzy's or I took a Uber to Ozzy's.
Okay, I think you might have taken an Uber because
that's fine. So then you found me or something.
Okay, so I found you.
Okay, but I took an Uber to Ozzy's. Okay, now keep going.
And we're with some other people, right? And it's like packed in there, and like Phil is like he's getting free shots from people and shit, and like. He's
true.
Like, he's like grinding on people that just walk by and shit, and like I'm just like down. I'm like, okay, Phil is like top Phil right now.
Yeah.
And like the people I'm with are like, what's up with your boy, man? I'm like, I was like, I love Phil, man, but you know, he might be a little fucked up right now.
Right.
And so finally we're like an hour into this place, and Phil's just like humping on some dude at the bar. and Phil looks at me, right? And Phil looks at me, he's like, yo, let's go to the middle of the dance floor. And I'm like, all right. And so we start walking, and security grabs him, and then he's like, "Hey, yo, Manny," and I do a spin to like I didn't hear him. So security drags him out, and they're like, "You're done," and he's like, "But I didn't." And so Phil fucking is outside, and he's
just
like
extra,
calling
man.
me repeatedly, and I'm like, "Fuck, man, I don't want to answer this."
So bad.
So at some point, I sneak out, but I don't see you, and you're like, all I remember is you're so fucked up. You're like, "Manny, yo, where you at, man? Come find me real quick." And I'm like, oh yeah, Phil, man, I'm trying to find you. And I'm not really...
You're like this. I'm trying to find you. You're closing the door at home, locking it.
Totally. Yeah. I was literally like in my car driving off.
So
like,
mean. Fuck.
I felt like a dick, man.
That's
like,
okay.
Man, you just kicked me out for no reason. And I'm
Serves
just like,
me right, I'm sure.
And I'm just like, Phil, I don't know what happened, man. I just lost you, but I saw him get dragged
Phil's
out.
talking to you. He's like, man, I think they kicked us out because we're black. So what's your...
Okay, so then I grab an Uber.
Yeah.
And I thought that I think I must have thought that I just took an Uber all the way to Seattle. So I start taking the Uber home.
Okay, all right.
Oh, so you left your car.
So my car is
at the underground.
Yeah, and we start going south, past downtown.
Yeah.
We get almost to South Center. And I realize my car is back in Seattle.
Oh, fuck.
And so I go, oh my God, turn the car around, dude. My car's back in the fucking, in Seattle. And so I take it all the way, we take the Uber back to Seattle. It was like $50.
Oh,
it was at least like $50.
Oh my God.
And and then I get dropped off, and I don't even really remember where it was exactly. I remember the area, but
vicinity of it,
but I don't remember where it is. So then I'm like walking around in Pioneer Square, and there's like,
massive people.
Yeah, it's like what you would wish was a party, but they were just all homeless, but like standing around talking to each other like we're at a party, but they just have nowhere else to go. So
Their cocktails are all in brown bags.
Yeah. So I walk out, I start talking to a few of them or whatever. I don't know. Anyway, and then I'm like, okay, I think I'm pissing them off. I need to walk away. And then I find my car finally, and
Wait, this is the good ending?
No, it was always going to be a bad ending.
You told him you're like, okay, just remember.
Oh, just the fact that I got fucked with the Uber. I should have ended there.
Jesus Christ.
That's why he's not doing comedy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Phil.
I don't know how to end it.
Oh, now you told me, and you said you wanted to save it for the podcast. You had some story recently.
Okay, well,
Oh boy.
okay.
Are you like, I can't
That's
say
good.
it on the...
No, that's fine. I think the story I'm going to tell then means, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for another Phil Fox
Detox, right?
Yeah, Phil Fox Detox.
We haven't had the Phil Fox detox in like 3 years.
That's right. It's a segment. If you're
Wait, do you want to tell your mob story in LA? Or do you want to tell the Phil Fox detox story first?
Let's save that for some other time.
No, we'll do it do it
Okay.
after this. Whatever.
I don't even know where we're at.
Tell your Phil Fox detox.
All right. So Phil Fox Detox, if you're new to the show, this is where we talk about a time where you get the most fucked up, either on alcohol or drugs, or both, which I guess we kind of were just talking about that a little bit. But I had a recent one, and I dropped acid for the first time,
Shit.
which was a very interesting experience, to say the
Now,
least.
can you say this with your fucking car?
Allegedly.
Have you ever done acid?
Dude, I haven't done anything harder than marijuana.
Same here.
I may or may not have.
And we'll tell your detox about marijuana.
You know, it's interesting because you're absolutely right. It's like maybe I shouldn't talk about my. I was thinking about that. I was like, should I talk about my actual occupation? If I am going to kind of talk about how disturbed of a human being I am.
I mean, as long as I.
Well, these are all just jokes you're going to tell on stage. They're not really real.
Yeah, right. It's all just jokes, and it's all alleged. Who knows if I really was or wasn't? Yeah, I won't. And the other thing is I was just thinking, like, as far as, because I do have to drug test for a lot of this stuff, but I guess interestingly, a lot of the drugs that I have experimented with get out of your system like within 3 or 4 days.
All right.
So not asking anybody to challenge that, but
All right.
but yeah, it's just kind of anyway.
You know what we should do is we should, moving forward.
It's just interesting.
No.
to me, too.
Whenever we tell these stories,
we'll
tell it about your twin brother Bill.
Right, because it wasn't me.
Yeah, it was your
Bill Box.
Yeah, yeah.
Bill Wolfe.
There you go.
Yeah.
So what happened to Bill?
So okay. But I'm going to talk about the story as if Bill was me.
Okay, all right, cool.
So this happened to my brother Bill, but I'm going to pretend Bill's me. So Bill, I go to my other cousin hits me up to go to this concert in Seattle a while ago, and we're also going to keep
I got
timelines
you.
vague.
Yeah, a long time ago.
So a while ago,
Back in your drug days.
and we go see this band that plays like ska music.
Okay.
So it was interesting, and we go there. And I'd never been to the venue before. I was really excited to check out. I can say the venue, I guess. Crocodile. I'd never been to the Crocodile before.
Oh yeah, that's only been open like 2 weeks. Go ahead.
And so I'm I had a couple drinks, and I go into the bathroom, and as I was going to the bathroom, I was just thinking about Seattle and all these rules about how genders and all this kind of stuff. And I noticed that there is a specific man's bathroom and a woman's bathroom, and so I kind of am talking to myself loudly, out loud.
Okay.
I'm like, I go, oh, does it matter which bathroom I go into? Like, shouldn't these be genderless bathrooms? Because I want to get a reaction. Yeah.
Are you sober at this time? When you're
No. You said you had
what
a
would
few
you
drinks.
think?
Okay,
Come
I'm
on,
guessing not.
if I'm gonna start inciting reactions from people. So then I go into the men's bathroom and taking my piss at the urinal, which is also a very gendered thing. So it would be interesting if a woman could go in there anyway. But so I'm pissing at the urinal and I start laughing and I'm like, I thought these are genderless fucking bathrooms, Aren't these genderless bathrooms? And there's these two like middle-aged guys, like kind of washing their hands, getting like kind of ready to leave the bathroom, and they hear me and they kind of start laughing. They're like, dude, you should totally go into the woman's bathroom if you want, bro. Like, you should go in there, dude.
That's all it takes.
Oh god.
And then I'm just like, oh no, I don't know. And they're like, are you having a good night, dude? And I'm like, yeah, I'm having a pretty good night so far. And they're like, do you want to make it any better? And I was like, I don't know. Like, what are you talking about? And he's like, dude, have you ever dropped acid before, dude? And I was like, you know what? Honestly, I have not. And they're like, well, yeah, I have a little bit, if you're interested. And I was like, wow. I've never had even the opportunity to do it. I guess if there was ever going to be, a time, the moment is offered to me.
Well, first of all, this all blows me away that if I was
That
anywhere and somebody I don't know go, hey, you want this? You want to consume this thing?
Right. I'd be like, fuck.
It could be cyanide.
Exactly.
Sure, fuck it. I haven't tried it. All right, go on. Oh, fuck.
I guess if that's the way it ends, at least, I went out trying something. At least I'll finally make the papers.
Oh god.
So, yeah, I go, well, I'm with my cousin and another friend. I go, do you have enough for all of us, because I don't want to just go on this. I go, I don't want to go.
teacher?
Why you bring enough for the class? I didn't want to go on this journey by myself.
Yeah.
And he goes, yeah, I do. And he goes, I would recommend just taking a half, don't take a whole.
And you're like, cool, so a whole.
Yeah, no. I was like, no, the half sounds good to me. And then he goes, yeah, you could just buy me a drink or, get some cash out and give me some cash in a little bit. I was like, yeah, that's fine. And so he opens it up. It was like in a little piece of foil. He said it was on a calcium chew.
Okay.
Like whatever. So the stuff was on that. And I was like, okay. So I just grab it and chew it up.
Mm-hmm.
And then I go find my friends that I'm with, and I'm like, hey, dude, these. I was a little nervous because I already decided to eat it before I
gave it to everybody.
Said if they were gonna take it, because I would have been pissed if they didn't, and it was just me all of a sudden. And I was like, yeah. So I met these guys, and they have some acid or whatever, and. Dude, we should do it because I already took it. I need you guys to be on this fucking journey with me. Right. Otherwise, I'm going to freak the fuck out. And so we find him, and he has another one. They each take a bite of half and split it. And the journey begins. So about 30, 45 minutes later, the band is playing, and there's like this big... like flame behind the guy playing, really literally on the back of their backdrop with their band name and everything, and they're starting to sing and stuff, and I'm like starting to really get into it, and like the whole experience is like, it was as if, and not that I saw this, but how I felt about what I was watching, it was as if what I was watching was originally on television. Like the concert was on television, and all of a sudden, it came out of the television, and I was there.
Oh,
okay.
Because I really was there, but like it's like it got that much more real.
Yeah.
Like 3D in real life, almost.
Yeah. I'm like, holy shit, I'm fucking here, dude. Like, this is happening. Everything just got more intense. The colors got more vibrant.
Did you freak out? Or?
I didn't, because I had Bill has done shrooms before, and I had been through that experience, and I had kind of known
Bill Fox, your twin brother.
Bill Wolfe,
Bill Wolfe, sorry, Bill Wolfe, Wolf like the animal.
When things kind of start to all of a sudden a rush of intensity, where it had freaked me out in the past, that moment of, oh shit, I'm not fucking who I am anymore. I'm like, oh, that's because I took a thing and this is the experience of that thing. So everything is going to be like this now for a while. So you better be cool with it. Otherwise, this is going to be fucking shitty. You know? So you just got to accept it and fucking be ready to go with the fucking flow. And so it was just intense. And all of a sudden that flame behind the guy made me think that this, like, I was kind of feeling like, what if all of a sudden I was in hell and this was Satan, the rock star, just fucking killing it, dude. Just killing it to me right now. He's just possessing me and I'm just under control of his music. And so I was just I was dancing so hard. And then the concert, and the guys that were with, that gave us the stuff, they're like, yeah, dude, so we live on a fucking boat in the marina and shit, and we can all go back and kick it fucking afterwards. Like, we're here with you, dude. We're with you through this, you know? And so I start, like, I'm just like, so the big pop, the big hit song of the band comes on at the end of the night, and I'm just like, I'm like an amoeba. I'm not anything, dude. I'm just going. I'm dancing. I'm not a thing. I'm just a spirit.
Right.
And I'm a cartoon character just dancing.
Oh shit.
And I think I was getting a little intense for the guys that gave us the stuff. And they're kind of, like, we're kind of like trying to like pseudo mosh into each other a little bit. And so the show ends and hot as shit. So I go out, we go out in the little smoking patio area, and it's me, my cousin, and our buddy, and we're talking, and all of a sudden I realize those guys are nowhere to be seen. And we're kind of just standing there, we're like, wait, where did they go? Like, they said they were going to be with us, like, be our fucking guides and, like, be with us through this.
Right.
And they fucking disappeared.
They never existed.
Yeah, dude. What if? And so we're kind of just standing there, kind of almost stuck to the ground.
Okay.
Because the show's over. We have to be outside, but we don't know what the fuck to do with ourselves. Like, we're just like, the whole world is a playground, like we're in a snow globe of fantasy.
Jesus.
And so we're just standing there like fucking seaweed, and we're just talking, laughing, and we're like, what do we do? Do we go anywhere? Do we just stay here? And this homeless dude walks up. It was this homeless dude. He looked really cool, but he was in homeless clothes. But he looked like he was
familiar with that brand.
He looked like a fucking actor.
Okay.
Like, he looked so well manicured.
Maybe he's wearing that new Kanye shit.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know, and he walks up and he's asking us for whatever, some money or a cigarette or something. And I'm like laughing and like I'm talking to him like, "What's up, man? How are you? How was your night going, man?" I'm just like, I don't give a shit about what you need or whatever. I just wonder how you're doing, man. Like, how's
inadvertently start shitting on him. I don't care that you're homeless. I don't care that your life sucks, bro. I'll hang out with you.
I mean, in a way though, because I'm like, I just want to get to know you though.
Yeah.
Like, who are you, dude?
Let me ask you this:
like, who cares about your circumstances? Like, what's your life, dude? What's your soul, dude?
How long does the experience last?
Like 2 minutes. This is all just fucking sober.
I think I ended up trying to fall asleep around like probably 5 a.m. and I was still kind of like.
And you took it when?
At about 10:15.
Jesus,
yeah.
all right.
And it was still going.
So did you hook up with the homeless dude, or what happened?
So this dude had his nickname was Rook. He told me his name was Rook. And he had a necklace, and he actually had this cool little rook chest piece hanging on his necklace. And I was like, dude, like, this is insane, like, he's even like got a thing for the nickname, and like, this is going like, this is layered, like, people would never know this if he just walking by, and I'm getting into it, and so eventually I tell him my name. I'm like, dude, my name's Phil Fox.
Fox like the animal?
Fox,
My name's Bill Wolfe.
And so he goes, as soon as I say that, he looks at me and he goes, he all of a sudden he just looks and goes, foxes recognize traps and lions frighten wolves. And I was like, what? I was like, yo, that shit is sick, dude. That is the deepest thing I've ever heard anybody say in my entire life. And I was like, this guy's, like just a poet on the street. And later on, like this week, or sometime after that, I thought about that whole experience, and I looked that up to see if that was anything, or if that was like his thing or something,
right.
Because I was struck by it, but I was like, was that just some shit he came up with? And I actually looked it up, and it is a thing, and he was quoting Machiavelli.
Oh shit!
Oh fuck!
I was like, dude, that's crazy. This guy's
maybe it was Machiavelli.
Yeah, reincarnated, man. It was nuts. So that blew my mind. And then we ended up just being all nutty and sat down outside a bar for a while, and then went back to his place and watched some Thor Ragnarok, which was really really
the colors
fucking,
and everything. Oh,
it was really crazy, and then just ended up passing out. But it was a good. It was a good experience. I think I'm cool with or Bill's cool with the hallucinogenics.
Now do you have to? And that's how do you end it? You got to end the.
I also will say that as far as just taking the amount that I took, I didn't experience. I will say when we got back to his place and went to the bathroom, I looked down at the floor, and the floor just kind of looked like it was a little body of water. It was like kind of like a pool of. It was just a little, getting some waves going on in it. But for the most part, I never saw any real hallucinations of anything, any visuals, just stuff felt different. Like it felt like,
more vibrant.
Yeah, and I was kind of in a cartoony kind of world. In fact, we went to this one bar that was called the Rabbit Hole or something like that, and I went to the bathroom and there was all these doorknobs with the keyholes and little mirrors everywhere.
Yeah.
And
Those
I was
are
just like,
dicks and assholes. You're like, you're just high. Like, wow, this is a weird doorknob.
I was like, yo, dude, I think I'm going down the rabbit hole in this bathroom.
Fucking hilarious.
And then, and then you think like, is the toilet the rabbit hole? And then there was people waiting for me on the outside of the door. It was I knew it was like a couple chicks.
Yeah.
Because because you can like feel people's vibes and stuff, and I knew like they were coming to like find me. I felt like, and so I was in the bathroom, and I was taking a big shit. And
they were coming to find you.
It was taking a while, and I was like, yo, like this is taking a while, and they were like starting to knock on the door, and the only thing that came to my mind was, well, you gotta wait for brilliance, and I didn't know if what waiting for brilliance was either me waiting for my shit to come out, like I'm making brilliance, or they're waiting for brilliance to come out of the bathroom. It was just a weird thought to have at the time.
Man, Bill Wolfe had a
Bill
good
Wolfe's
night.
crazy. Oh, I will say one other weird thing that happened was across the street there was a barber shop, and it had the red, white, and blue spinny thingy. Mm-hmm. And I saw that, and I was like, why the fuck is that? Why is that a thing? Why does that exist? Why does that have to signify?
Yeah, did you look it up?
Going to the barbershop. I haven't looked it up, but I was like, is that because, when you go in the military, like, you have to get, like, a haircut,
red, white,
you got to get that really sharp haircut, and, like, it's red, white, and blue, and then I just started thinking, like, I guess, barbershop with the red, white, and blue thing, you either die for your country or you get a haircut.
What the fuck?
I don't know. That's where my mind went.
I love
and that's been another
Phil Fox Detox.
So I had I don't know if I posted the video of it. I did a weed podcast. Or I did.
Yeah, I heard it.
Did you hear me fucking trail off?
Yeah.
There's video of it.
I haven't seen the video. Well, I saw like a shortened clip of it somewhere, but yeah, this guy.
Yeah.
I did an edible, and then I did 2 huge hits off this vape.
Yeah.
And when they sent me the video and the audio clip, I thought I thought I'd been on it for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
It was 28 minutes.
Holy shit.
And like I'm like having fun and crying, laughing and everything. And then all of a sudden it felt like somebody took my feet and threw them down a black hole, and they were just getting stretched down into this hole, and my legs were going, and eventually my body was going to follow. And I'm just on this table, and you just see me like go like this. I tell them, I start sweating.
Yeah.
I had them get me a bucket, and they gave me this. They gave me a pill that's supposed to help you when you get too high.
Yeah, I heard that. It was like undo or something like that.
Yeah, I was like, is that real? But they gave me one. I don't know if it worked or not, but
it supposedly undoes being high.
Yeah.
They gave me that in the ER.
Did they?
Yeah.
Interesting.
So they ended up having to roll me to the couch, put me on the couch, and I passed out for 5 hours.
So you fell asleep before you knew if that thing worked.
Yeah, I mean, they were like, yeah, see, it worked. And I'm like, well, I just fell asleep. I don't know.
Yeah.
Manny went to the police when he got high. Do you remember that story?
I do remember that story a little bit.
So, first off, I've always had, like, fucking freak out. So, I remember when I got my Achilles repaired when I tore it, they gave me something, right? And they were like, all right, we're going to give you this thing. You're going to kind of fade out. And so I remember slowly fading out, and the guy's playing Shakira in the background, like, while they're getting ready for the surgery. Weird as shit, right? And all of a sudden, I started hearing, like, Shakira, right? And
then you hear,
nice
you're not going to wake up.
yeah, seriously, right? So I start slowly fading out, and I got the orb thing. I felt like I was a ball in space. And I was like, oh, fuck, man. I was like, I never existed. I was like, God damn it. I loved my mom. She was such a good person.
This is from something that a doctor gave you?
A doctor gave me, right before surgery. And I was just like, I became this blue ball floating in space, and I was just like, damn, I never existed. My mom never existed. She was super cool. I loved her. And then all of a sudden I like wake up and I'm like, holy shit, that was wild. And then like I started hearing Shakira, and I was like, that was fucking crazy. And then they were like, that's not the craziest part, and I was out, right?
She'll kill ya.
Right. And then I wake up and the shit was over, right? So fast forward, like actually before that was the time that I smoked weed right after high school. It was my first time smoking. We're down in Puyallup, which for all the listeners who don't know what Puyallup is, it's not a safe place to be black. So we are in the most.
I mean, you could just say America.
There's not exactly,
right?
I will say, and because I graduated from Puyallup High School, as stereotypical as it sounds, our basketball team was the amount of black people at our high school. So,
typical, right?
Yeah.
So literally, it was the most multiracial car you'll ever see, right? It was a white guy, an Asian guy, a half black guy, an Indian guy, and me, right? So we had gone to this whack ass party, and they had given me this little baggie of like empty weed, and I was like, "Oh shit, I'm a drug dealer." You know, I'd never seen it before, right? And so I like put it in my pocket, not thinking about it. The Indian guy, we get pulled over, and the cop was like, "Who has the weed?" Right? And he had like 7 bags of weed we didn't know about. And he had a beer, but we were all underage, and he tried to hide the beer under the seat. So they thought he was reaching for a gun. They fucking drew guns on the car, right?
Jesus Christ.
We were like, holy shit. So our hands go up. So they drag us out of the car, and I forgot that I had the bag of weed on me, right? So we all get thrown in this holding cell for like 3 fucking hours. Like, must have been even 4 hours, because that must have been a little high, but time just slows the fuck down.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm like, trying to read like a book in jail. I'm like thinking about converting to Islam and shit.
Jesus.
You know what I mean? Like,
should have went kosher.
Yeah, right. And then all of a sudden I hear this girl in the next cell. Like, there was this, like a female cell right next to us. And she's like, fuck you, you fucking pigs, you fucking bitches. I was like, holy shit. And then this went on for like 10, 15 minutes. And then she just was quiet. I was like, they killed that bitch. This shit is fucking over, man.
Oh, God.
I was like, they're going to kill us next. And we like kept fucking with the toilet, kept flushing it. And the cops were like, stop fucking with the fucking toilet. And
what the fuck
it was just the most random fucking night, man. So anyways, long story short. We get out, and I had to go do like I had to go to court like in a few days, and like I had to do community service. So that was my first experience on weed, right? The next time was with you motherfuckers. Remember that?
Yeah.
There was a comic who gave us this thing called a depth charger, right? And basically it's just all THC content. Kept telling everybody, I was like, I think I'm really immune to weed. I don't think it really like messes with me. So I took that, and then we smoked. It was like me, you, and Sean.
Yeah.
We went to go see this shitty ass movie. And the whole movie, I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm not feeling it. So, anyways, go home, drive home, and you guys are like, are you sure you're going to drive? I'm like, yeah, man, I told you, I'm going to do the weed. Wake up at 2 o'clock in the fucking morning. And I kind of had that, like, that black hole feeling like you did, where it was like, all of a sudden, I knew just how big the universe was and how small I was.
Yeah.
And I felt my body, like, expanding and contracting at the same time. And it was like, my heart was beating out of my chest. I'm like, I'm going to fucking go into cardiac arrest.
Yeah.
I need to go tell somebody, right? And so I walked down the hill to the police station, and I'm like, "Yo, like, oh shit, you took weed, you took the weed thing." So
you're like this. You're like, I think I'm way too high. Stop resisting.
So like, but it was so crazy because like I'm having an out of body experience, right? Like my body is literally 2 feet in front of me. My thoughts are like 2 feet behind me, right? And I'm walking like. This is fucked up to say. I really thought I had Down syndrome, and I'm like walking like a T-Rex down the street, like it's fucking weird. And then I got my roommate to take me to the hospital at 2:00 in the morning, right? And way to be a professional, Phil.
Yeah, sorry.
Jesus Christ.
So, like, they literally, like, it took forever in the ER, right? And I'm sitting there. I call my mom, and like it's mind you 2:00 in the morning, and I'm like, hey, I got bad news. I think I'm dying. You know what I mean? It's just like, what? And I'm like,
God.
Not only am I dying, but I think I can feel a heartbeat in my asshole. Like, you know, just random ass conversations with my mom.
How long has this period of time been since the moment you started to feel like dying to the moment you're talking to her?
Probably like 2 hours. You know what I mean?
So you felt like you were dying for 2 hours. So fortunately, apparently your body is strong enough to last 2 hours, even though you think you're dying at that moment.
It was crazy.
This is the longest death ever.
But you know what the problem was? It was like I had never been high, so and also I wasn't in a safe zone. I wasn't with you, mother.
Yeah.
I had already left. You would have just told me
on your own. Yeah,
you're just high.
Yeah, Sean would have been able to be like,
yeah.
Oh.
So, anyways. I literally, like, they were like, oh, you have marijuana in your system, Mr. Martin. Do you know who gave this to you? I was like, no, I don't know who gave this to me, right? They're like, okay, whatever.
Stop resisting.
Yeah. So they gave me the thing to come down off it. I literally missed a whole day of work. And,
Yikes.
this weed isn't my shit. So.
That's, dude.
And they just gave you fucking whatever at the place to calm down, or just
the like whatever they
or just basically caressing you on the head, going, "It's gonna be okay."
Dude, I was like,
gonna be fine.
I mean, I felt like I didn't feel like you were saying like you're where you exist in the world. I didn't feel like that. I felt like it just felt like somebody had a rock tied to my legs and just went like threw it into a black hole, and it felt like everything just went. And I was just like,
would you say that's probably one of the highest times you've ever been?
Oh, dude, I started sweating.
It was just 2 edibles or something?
One edible and like 2 huge rips off a vape pen.
Off a vape pen.
Yeah.
And had you fucked with vape pens ever in the past?
Usually I like vape pens.
Yeah.
When I've done them. And then...
they do have certain oil that's like for like a more similar to like what's a dab.
Dude.
In the vape pen stuff, you know what I mean? Wonder if your concentrate or whatever was stronger.
And I just remember when they went to lift me up onto the couch... my buddy Bill, he just goes, "Oh, dude, he's drenched." I was sweating so much. So they gave me an ice pack. I just laid on that, and they put a fan on me, and I passed out for 5 hours. Yeah. I felt like I couldn't cool down my core. Like I just couldn't stop sweating.
Yeah.
But we got to wrap this up. But I want to see if we could do another podcast before I leave. Not today, but.
Oh, sure, yeah. I'm available. I'm down.
Okay.
And then. We haven't even got to talk about what our goals are for us being back together.
Let's do it on the next podcast.
What I want to do with this podcast.
Oh, dude, that's a cliffhanger.
Where I want to see this podcast going.
All right, cliffhanger. All right, this will come out tomorrow. What gigs do you want to plug?
You can see me in big yellow fucking equipment on the side of the road in a city near you.
You got anything, Manny?
Triple Door, July 12th, and then Snow Call Me Casino, or maybe Snow Call Me Casino. I don't know. Look me up online. I've got Snow Call Me Casino.
What website? Or
just look me up on Facebook, Manny Martin, or just on Insta or Twitter.
What's your
Manny
name?
Martin Jr.
Manny Martin Jr.
Yeah.
Like the animal?
Yeah, I'm at Like the Animal on everything, I'm pretty sure. And I don't need to have anything else. This is what I have now.
Fuck yeah.
I'm here.
That's right,
baby. You guys stay tuned. You catch me next time.
Oh shit, I like that. And I'm going to be at Spokane Comedy Club, and then in 2 weeks I'll be in Harvey's in Portland, Oregon. Then I'll be at Brad Garrett's in Vegas, and then I'll be at Skyline in Wisconsin. So
awesome.
Those are coming up. Dope. Thanks, buddy. Glad to have you back.
Yeah. Thanks, Manny.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Oh, I did hear you guys do this, and I really like it. I do want this to continue. Ready? Bye.